Hey, what's up? I'm Dom and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the 5 things I hate about my Pixel 6 Pro. Now, before we get any further, I would just like to take this opportunity to say that I am a huge fan of Google Pixel and the Google Pixel 6 Pro in particular. I had many Google Pixel models in the past. I had the Google Pixel 2, the 3A XL, I had the 5, and now I have the 6 Pro. But none of that matters right now, because I want to tell you about what I dislike about this phone, even though I actually love this phone. So as you can imagine, I found it extremely difficult to find 5 things I disliked. But let's start. So I want to start with the fingerprint recognition system on there, which has actually improved in a recent update. But comparing them to phones such as the iPhone with the home button, or any of the recent Samsung lineup of phones, I think it's actually quite slow. And I know that it's been confirmed by Google that it's pretty slow. And that's been fixed in a recent update, but even after the update, I actually think it's a little bit slower than it should be, and it's not as accurate as it should be. But saying that, this is the first time that Google decided to have a fingerprint sensor embedded on the screen. In the past, it was actually embedded in the back of their phones, in quite a convenient spot actually. But obviously with that massive camera hump at the back, they didn't really have the room to put it there, so they needed to put it somewhere else. And I guess with the way a lot of the flagship phones are going, the inside the screen was the perfect idea for them. But it's not something that is stopping me from using the phone, and I do still think that there's potential in it being improved further in future updates. Now, moving on, another thing I hate is the placement of the buttons. As you can see, with the buttons, I'm right-handed, and I have to tilt the phone slightly to control some of the buttons on there, such as the volume button, just so that my hand reaches. What I think would be nicer is if, the volume buttons can say where they are, but for example, the power button could have been put on the other side of the phone. It might just make it a little bit simpler, a little bit easier to use, and a little bit more user-friendly. But that's just it with that. Like I said, it was pretty hard to find something I disliked about this phone. Now, moving on, the third thing I dislike about this phone has got to be the charging. Now, in my day in the life with the Pixel 6 Pro video, you saw that I put my phone on charge before I left for the office, and that took about, say, 1 hour 10 minutes, 1 hour 15 minutes to charge, and it still didn't reach 100%, and the battery at the time was around 10%. So, I don't think it's great, the charging on it. And if we start talking about the wireless charging, that's even slower. That's very disappointing actually. I moved to the Pixel 6 Pro as a heavy MagSafe user on my previous phone, the iPhone 12, and I'm actually pretty disappointed with the wireless charging. I used to absolutely adore the wireless charging on my iPhone 12. I thought it performed well, considering the fact that it's wireless. And I absolutely adored the fact that you could put accessories such as your wallet or your power bank just connected to it. Unfortunately, that's something that the Pixel 6 Pro does not have. In fact, none of the other Android devices actually have in the first place. Now, moving on, the fourth thing I dislike about this phone has got to be the at-glance feature. Now, I actually really like the idea, and I think it's pretty cool once it's further developed. But one thing I dislike about it, it's the fact that it doesn't always work as it should. So in my previous video, you saw me catch a train, What would be really nice is if that train, or what would be really nice is if the at glance feature actually displayed details of that train journey. So for example, I would love it to inform me of what platform I should be on. I would love it to inform me whether the train is late or not. It's just one of those things which I guess will need app integration from either the Trainline app or somewhere else. But I think that would be pretty cool. I know that it's available with flights, which I think is pretty awesome. Now the final and last thing I dislike about this phone and that's the camera app. Now, the camera on this phone is absolutely brilliant. It's possibly the best camera phone I've ever had. But unfortunately, it has a lot of issues. The main issue being the constant crashing. When I was recording my day in the life video, I had to reset my phone quite a few times, and I think that's not great. It's an issue that I experience on the Pixel 5, and it's an issue I'm experiencing on the Pixel 6 Pro, and I think it seriously needs to be addressed by Google. So yeah. Because it really is a shame, because the performance of the camera is actually pretty cool, but it's just the crashing that gets to me. And sometimes when it crashes, what happens is the camera just turns black and you can't see anything out of it, and sometimes the phone even actually turns off because of it, which I think in itself is a pretty serious issue. So hopefully that will be fixed with an update. But for the time being, I am finding myself using third-party camera apps. I'm recording this video using the Pixel Pro 6, but I'm actually using Filmic Pro to record this video, just because I don't really want it to crash. Now, another thing I've noticed, speaking about the camera, is mic support. So I use various different mics. At the moment, I'm just using the standard lavalier mic, but I do use a shotgun mic as well. In fact, I use two of them, and none of them are supported. The camera just doesn't detect them, the phone just doesn't detect them. I tried other apps, but they're just not detected, which is a shame. But yeah, overall, the Pixel 6 Pro is still a really good phone, and you can see and you can tell that Google do care about this product, simply by the fact that they are constantly releasing updates to fix these issues. And would I recommend this phone to a friend? I would definitely recommend this phone to a friend. I think it's a brilliant phone which is being well looked after by Google, and it actually works extremely well compared to other phones I've had. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more great content. And if you haven't already, check out my bi-monthly newsletter where I send out emails twice a month about my experiences with tech. And I also include exclusive content, so do check that out. Do check out my blog, techwithdom.com as well. But other than that, till next time.